Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a really long time since I've talked to you last, but I'm back now. I have the time. I'm able to give you good content so you can actually watch and enjoy it, hopefully. And so I'll be talking about my lifestyle, whether it's fitness, food, beauty, fashion, and everything in between. So today's video, I had asked you guys on Instagram what you want my first video to be about, and you guys chose food. So today's video is on my core staple ingredients that I keep in my fridge and in my pantry. So we are filming the core staples that I keep in my fridge all the time. If you go in my fridge, you're going to find any to all of these ingredients. Alright, so what do I keep in my fridge? So if you don't know me already, I am mainly a plant-based eating person. I don't really have a label. I don't like putting a label on it. I just eat what feels good for me. So there's no labels. I'm not strictly anything. I just eat what feels good. I eat what feels right, what feels good. And so the first item that I want to show you is sprouts. I'll show you up a little closer. It's no specific brands. It varies from what store I go to. Sometimes I go to Meat Farm, sometimes I go to ShopRite, sometimes I go to Whole Foods. So the brands are always a little different, but sprouts are sprouts. And you always want to make sure that when you flip it over on the bottom, it's still like a light green and not wet and like brown, which I find a lot of times because they over water them when they're in the vegetable section, and then they have a shorter lifespan and you don't want to eat the bottom ones, so always check the bottom. So the reason why I eat sprouts is because they are a good source of protein, they're a good source of vitamins and minerals. So you could put these on a wrap, you could put them on a salad, you could put them on the side of a main dish or on top of it. They can go anywhere and everywhere, and that makes them really great. They're very versatile and they are packed with nutrients. So you always want to eat nutrient positive foods, and this is one of them. All right, so if you don't know me, again, most of you don't, I am gluten intolerant, so I tend to buy things that are gluten-free. I also have gluten enzyme pills, so I do buy some things that have gluten and I just take the enzyme. But this particular product is gluten-free, and even though most of my family is not gluten-free, they still are addicted to these sieti, I think you call it. I'm really bad at pronouncing names of things, but these are almond flour wraps, and they are so good. They're not like the typical gluten-free wraps that you might find. They are really full of flavor, they don't crumble, and they're not powdery. So I'll let it focus on it. With these wraps, I make a lot of wraps, whether it's with eggs or vegetables or tuna fish, whatever it is. These I eat a lot and I eat them often, so I usually get 2 packs of these to last me 1 week. Next, I get salsa. I love salsa. You can put it on anything and everything, and it gives it an extra punch, a little extra flavor. So you can make eggs taste a million times better. Salads, I like to put them on salads. Mix it in with fish or whatever protein you eat. Just salsa is a really great way to elevate the flavors of food. I bought Whole Foods store brand mild roast, so that, you know, some days my stomach could be a little, I'm sorry, it just dripped all over me. I put it sideways. Not smart. Do not put your salsa sideways. Sometimes my stomach could be a little sensitive, so I don't like to risk making a whole day ruined by having too spicy of a food. You might hear my dog crying in the background. I will be right back. You good boy? Pick one. Good choice. All right, I'm back. I just had to take him for a walk. He is the cutest. I love him so much. Anyway, my hair might get a little frizzy from walking him out in the rain. So, next thing is lettuce. I do not buy iceberg lettuce because there is no nutritional value in that. You want to make sure you get mixed greens or something like a romaine. This one is organically grown in Brooklyn. Some fancy lettuce from Whole Foods, of course. But this tastes amazing. I don't know if a lot of people do this. This happens to me often. I sometimes just stumble upon lettuce that just tastes so good. And you're probably not gonna understand what I'm trying to get at, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But if you do understand, tell me down in the comments below if you have a lettuce that you're just like, this tastes so good. Like you don't even need to dress it, kind of good. All right, next, moving on. I always keep mushrooms. Really, really good source of protein. They fill you up, they're thick, so you can barbecue them. So good for summertime. I usually don't buy the pre-cut ones, but I did this time. So that happened. But I usually get the caps, the full caps, and I chop them up myself. I sometimes get baby bellas, sometimes I just get full portobello mushrooms. I love shiitake, but you're always going to find portobello mushrooms in my fridge. Next is, let's see, tempeh. Tempeh is one of my primary sources of protein in a dinner or lunch meal. This is what it looks like. There you go. It's actually really hard for you to see it. There you go. Kind of looks like a bunch of rice stuck together. And it's a soy based, but not like tofu. So it's not as much soy as tofu has. It's not good to have soy every day, so don't worry, I do not eat soy every day. If you're gonna come and yell at me about it, I don't need to hear it, I know it. So anyway, tempeh. You could cook this many ways. Like tofu, it takes on the flavor that you cook it with. So honestly, I usually just cook it with a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper, and it's really, really good. So, tempeh, you find in my fridge. Next is Ezekiel bread. I usually get this orange one, which one is this? It's upside down, no wonder why you couldn't read it. I usually get this one or get the purple one, which is I think it's cinnamon raisin, but it's not as versatile as this one, of course, because now I can make toasts and sandwiches for throughout the day instead of just breakfast. So with this, I don't think it's gluten-free. I'm pretty sure it's not gluten-free, but it's got this ancient grain concoction that makes it really easily digestible and really soft in my stomach. So yeah, it doesn't hurt my stomach. Really, really good. So they have a lot of nutrition in these. If you're gonna buy bread, might as well just get Ezekiel bread because you're going to get a lot of positive nutrients in your body. It's not just a waste of a carb, it's not an empty carb. Tons and tons of nutritional value. Next is a huge staple that I always keep, and it is asparagus. It is a natural diuretic, so it helps drain any kind of extra water retention that you have on your body. I usually bake these or barbecue them. Don't ever buy them unless they're pencil thin. Any thicker than pencil thin, they're gonna be chewy and stringy and you're not gonna eat them. You probably find them in the grocery store in a little bit of a shallow water tray. You wanna keep it like that in your fridge because then it's gonna go bad. You want them to stay nice and ripe. The way that I cook asparagus is on the barbecue, or I bake them in the oven with a bunch of other vegetables that you might have seen on my Instagram. I do a big tray bake of leftover vegetables with these, and it makes it really fun and really good. A little salt, a little pepper, a little olive oil, and you're good. Ooh, and lemon. Lemon makes everything really good. That's actually an ingredient I don't have up here, but I do always have lemon. So next is fruit. I always keep fruit in my fridge, and it depends on the time of year, what's in season. So currently I have blueberries, raspberries, watermelon, and cherries. The way that I shop for these fruits, I just make sure that on the bottom, I flip it around, I flip it to the sides to make sure nothing is squished or rotting, because the worst thing is to buy blueberries, to open it up and see that there's some that are already moldy inside, and then you just have to throw them away. Next up is basmati rice. Now I always keep my rice inside a little glass jar, and I just continuously fill it up from the bag. Yes, it's a white rice, but it is one of the few nutritional positive rices that you can eat, so there's always benefits out of basmati rice. Also, jasmine rice is the same, but I like to do basmati rice just because. So I have these in my pantry all the time. Okay, next is sunflower seeds. Not in their shells, of course. So these are deshelled and not salted sunflower seeds. What I do with these is I literally put this on everything. They give you an extra pack of protein in every meal, as well as, you know, making it a little fun, adding a little extra flavor to a salad or a piece of toast or whatever it may be that you throw it on. So, protein positive, nutritional positive, sunflower seeds. All right, lastly, I am on the liquids in my fridge. So first is liquid egg whites. I love liquid egg whites because you don't have to waste a bunch of eggs when you just crack them and throw away the yolk. It's just really easily to measure, and it's a really great way to get protein in, especially when I don't eat any kind of meat other than fish. And you can't eat a ton of fish all the time, so my protein comes from all those other things I just showed you, and egg whites and protein powder. I usually buy this brand for no particular reason at all, just because I like this one. So you can find this at ShopRite and Meat Farms. Probably Stop and Shop too. Probably anywhere you go to the store. I don't see them in Whole Foods though. I don't like getting my egg whites at Whole Foods because they're always like this big and the same price as this one, so it makes no sense. All right, next in the liquids I have is almond milk. Lately I've been buying Almond Breeze, but I usually get Silk. It's just what the store had this time, and it is the vanilla one, and it's the 80-calorie one. I don't go for the diet ones. I don't go for the unsweetened because I could afford to have the fun one because I eat really healthy all the time. So if these little extra calories make or break me, there's a problem there. So I can afford it. If you work out, it doesn't matter. It's like 30 calories different. So I like this one. It tastes better with my protein shakes. It tastes better with my oats. I just like this one. So the vanilla 80-calorie almond milk. Alright, last is watermelon water. I love watermelon water. This is so good for rehydrating you, giving you electrolytes, and it just tastes really good, but it's also healthy for you, so it's not like a bad thing to have in your fridge. I usually divvy it up into 3 days instead of just drinking it all in one day. I kind of like to save it. I usually buy 2, so it lasts me the whole week. I usually have coconut water too, but I didn't buy it this shop, so I was not able to show you that. But I usually buy Harmless Harvest. It is a young cold pressed coconut, so it tastes really good and it's the freshest, has electrolytes, rehydrates you, and summertime you could really dehydrate really fast, especially here on Long Island because it gets really, really hot. So having these 2 waters, if you're not a water drinker, it's really good to have. I love water. I drink a lot of water. I drink 2 liters a day, but sometimes, bless you. Sometimes I really like to just drink this watermelon water, and I think that sums up everything I have. I usually have grapes also, but Kyle finished those last night, so I couldn't show you it. I usually get the purple ones. Make sure they're seedless. Make sure they're crunchy. What are you doing? Say hi. Also, look how I'm standing so I can fit in frame because I don't have a tripod right now. That's really sad. My legs are literally shaking making this video for you because of this. Oh my god, I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know if I'm forgetting things. These are usually just my core staples, and I figured that I would show you a, oh, I forgot something. I usually keep cucumbers and my tomatoes. Let me get those. All right, guys, I almost forgot 2 of my most important ingredients I keep in my fridge, and they are mixed tomatoes. I like to get the yellow, the red, the darker red tomatoes are really good for eliminating free radicals in your blood. Everybody has it, and it's just really good to just flush them out, so I like to eat those. Monty's crying again because he loves tomatoes, so we're gonna give him one so that we can continue filming. Here you go. Good. So sweet. Anyway, and then I also keep a pack of mini cucumbers in my fridge because I like to put them on my toasts. So with going over that, I wanted to go ahead and make a really quick lunch snack that I make pretty much every day. I'm a monogamous eater, so I pretty much eat the same thing every day for like 6-9 months. Some people are not like that, but if it works and it feels good, I do it. So what I do is I take a wrap, I take a few tomatoes, I take my cucumber, I take my sunflower seeds, and believe it or not, I eat mayonnaise, and I put a little bit on there, and I'm gonna grab a plate and I'm gonna whip it up for you. So there you go. It was really that easy to just whip something up with all fresh ingredients. A lot of proteins in here, a lot of good minerals and vitamins are packed into this. It was pretty quick. It was about like 3 minutes of making. People think that I make things that take hours because I cook so healthy, but really pretty much every single one of my recipes take 10, 5, most is 20. When I cook rice, it takes 17 minutes, but I always cook something at the same time, like in the oven, so it still takes about 17 minutes from preparation to plate. All right, so if you liked this video, you liked my recipe, even though it was quick and simple, I could do a lot more of those. Just let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit subscribe and like this video, and I will see you next time. Bye. Tomato, sit. Good boy. Here you go, little monster.